Robb Elementary School that lost their lives this past week. They should have been celebrating their last day of school yesterday, but instead, we are now mourning the deaths of 19 students and 2 teachers. So, yeah, like I said, a moment of silence for these people. Thank you. We hope you enjoy today's video. It's still very bittersweet considering the circumstances, but as they say, the show must go on. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the SEGASister, and welcome to Chapter 1, The Deadly Life of Our Killing School campaign. And like I said earlier, it's a little solemn considering the circumstances, but it is also, in a sense, a day of celebration. 2 of our players are going to be graduating tonight, and that's why we're having our session early today. Why don't everybody introduce themselves once again?
Well, I guess I'm the co-GM of this game. I go by Green, but in this case I'm playing the role of Monokuma and the other remaining guy NPCs.
I am CastaMelody and I play Circe, the ultimate witch.
My name is Travis Chige, and I play Xavier Katzenberry, the ultimate knight.
Oh no, we don't have any more dead bodies on our hands, do we? Crap!
No, we only have us 3.
Well, one of ours, the mic isn't working.
Oh no. God damn it.
And Richie is muted.
Okay.
Fun.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
There you go.
There we go, Richie.
Richie, I thought you were dead.
Just in shock, okay?
Oh, anyway, introduce yourself to the audience.
Richie Baka, you know me. Holy crap, what the fuck?
Holy crap, what the fuck? I agree. That
Yeah.
was a very appropriate reaction. And I think Wisteria's mic is broken?
Yeah.
Ah, crud.
Well, that's great.
But anyway, these are both of our graduates. They're, Bag of Groceries here is going to be graduating high school today, and I believe so is Fame.
Mm.
Who else is
That is the
Mysterious doesn't
result.
graduating high school, yes.
Okay, so, excuse me. And of
Nice
course,
one.
you know me, I am SEGASister. I voice Monomi as well as the other female non-player characters.
So, in order to pick up the story where we last left off, I think it's only appropriate that we start with a familiar little sound. Ding, dong, dong, ding.
I thought we were doing a moment of silence first.
We did that.
I already got
Oh.
I already got that out of the way.
Sorry, I didn't pay attention.
It's okay.
So that once again, the stunned silence is broken by that chime, and the speakers crackle to life as Monokuma's annoying voice plagues your ears once again. A body has been discovered. Everybody please gather by the boys' latrines. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you wish, the class trial will begin. See you soon.
And then, of course, you see Monokuma there just... Oh, everybody's here already.
Ah, yes. Good. Everybody's already here. Yeah, that saves a bit of time. It's about time that somebody finally made a move and got this killing game started.
You really think one of us, did it?
Does this look like an accident to you, Missy? Even if it was an accident, somebody was still responsible. Just to make things clear, the only death that doesn't count as a murder is death by disease.
Too soon.
For all we know, you could have done it.
Oh, no. You give me too much credit. And after all, I couldn't have. If you check your e-handbooks, you would see that I nor Monomi are allowed to interfere with the lives of students. That rule's ironclad, by the way.
It's true, Monomi says. We cannot interfere with the deaths of students unless they break a rule. And I'm afraid he is right. One of you did kill one of your own.
What?
I only expected this to happen.
Lawrence looks very sick. And Vance just sort of speaks. I was like, what a way to go. I understand and why somebody might want to kill, but this just looks a little overkill.
A little?
A little.
You know what I mean.
Death by fire. Well, no, I have a new nightmare.
To think he was screaming just a few moments ago. What a terrible fate.
You couldn't save him.
Now. Now's not the time for moping around. You can do that later. By the way, it would be a good time for you all to start investigating. Remember, if you don't find who the real killer is, then all of you will die as well. Well, except for the killer. So you better do your best. Oh, I almost forgot. I have a little parting gift to give to everyone. And at that moment, your e-handbooks all sort of buzz with a little notification.
Circe
This
opens hers.
This is a little something I like to call the Monokuma file. We gotta keep things fair with this trial. So have a little rudimentary information regarding some of the details of this case. Of course, the Monokuma file won't contain any actual information that points to the killer.
Of course, they didn't make it too easy.
All right.
Voice trauma?
And
Yeah.
I have posted the first truth bullet in the Truth Bullets channel.
Remember to actually include the name.
Guys.
Remember to actually include the name of the victim.
I did.
Hey guys, wait a minute! Check this out.
I'm looking.
Also
It says
suffered
here
a blunt force trauma to his head.
So in other words, he must have been knocked out before the fire.
Yep. And now I'm actually going to be showing the audience the map of the place. So yeah, this is where everyone is now. They are standing in front of the boys' latrines, which they have put out.
Yeah.
All right. So, at this moment, here's how the investigation will work. You guys can investigate any areas of the camp. You have to state what exactly you were looking at, or you can talk to any of the NPCs to try and get some information out of them. But sometimes a roll might be required when conversing.
All right.
Xavier's gonna go up to Daya and ask when, like, he noticed the boys' latrine was on fire.
Well, we were both in the dorms. I woke to the sounds of screaming, and that's when I gathered all of you. Well, to be frank, I gathered you, Friedrich, and Vance.
You gathered everyone in our cabin.
Yes, I immediately woke all of you up, and then we all ventured outside. Saw the latrines on fire outside and proceeded to wake everybody else.
He was screaming when he died, so the blunt force trauma wasn't...
It wasn't just enough.
That much could have been gleaned from the Monokuma file.
Oh, freaking hotkeys.
Although, I wonder the significance of the blunt force trauma, whether that was the initial way the killer planned to take them out, or if they planned the burning all along. Perhaps that might have something important to do.
We should absolutely check to see if there's evidence of like a Wicca or something like that.
Yeah.
Some sort of accelerant?
Yeah.
Xavier's gonna... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that if you do plan to do something, preface it with, this character does blank. That's the phrase to use.
Xavier is gonna examine the door that leads into the latrines.
Okay. You look at the door that has been torn off of its hinges, and you see that the handle of the door has been smashed. The metal handle has been bent in such a way that it won't turn.
Guys, he kind of motions everyone to come.
What's up?
The handle, it's smashed.
Which means forced entry.
Or it means that the person, whoever killed Eric, didn't want
wanted to prevent an escape.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it seems it won't open from either side. So, what we can... So, what I'm willing to assume we can glean is that fire was intentional. This was supposed to be the cause of death. Because you wouldn't smash a door handle unless the body was already dead.
Well, Canterbury, that is a good conclusion from that, though now we have to think, what is the cause of the blunt force trauma? It wasn't for the cause of death.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, anybody want to check inside the building?
Wisteria would like to check the body itself.
So it's Circe.
Okay. Looking over the body, you do find that the injuries are consistent with the Monokuma file. Eric's body is covered in deep burns, and the back of his head has a wound on it.
Circe looks at the wound to see how deep it is.
It's definitely it's not like a laceration or a piercing. It definitely looks like a solid object hit him and bludgeoned him. It's not extremely deep.
How big is it in, like, diameter?
In diameter, maybe like maybe I want to say 2 inches.
Okay.
2 inches.
Richie thinks of something.
Well,
and decides to head back to the cabin he shared with Eric and the others, to see if he can find any sort of hint.
Okay, so your cabin where Richie, Eric, Antonio, and Lawrence shared. You don't seem to find anything out of the ordinary.
Except.
Okay, yeah. Right. So you find a small piece of paper that seems to be off to the side. You nearly missed it. You find this small folded section of paper, and reading it or unfolding it, you see there's a note written on the inside. It says, "Meet me by the latrines at midnight. Tell nobody. I can only trust you."
Oh fuck!
Find anything?
Yeah. Read.
What is it?
Meet me by the latrines at midnight. Tell nobody. I can only trust you.
Found this near Eric's bed.
No signature.
Oh boy.
Oh my. Well, it looks like we found our killer.
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but I have no doubt that this definitely has a big connection to the case.
It does, but without a signature.
We don't know who wrote it.
Xavier's gonna start examining the latrine to see if he can
sure thing.
Point out where this fire must have started from.
What you definitely find is there are 2 things that you definitely notice. The first is the distinct smell of gasoline, and it sort of has this there's still sort of this residue that lingers on the inside of the interior of the latrine. And the second is actually something that you find underneath Eric's corpse, and it's a lighter.
Hello. Xavier walks out, his cloak kind of wrapped carefully around what he found underneath Eric's body, and he says, "I found something under Eric's body."
A lighter?
Yeah, and he unfurls it to show the lighter.
Yeah, that would explain much
gasoline.
strong aroma of gas.
But how would this get under his body?
That I don't know. Maybe it's not his lighter that started the fire.
I doubt it is. No way he would just accidentally set the place in flames.
Wait. I just thought of something.
Go ahead.
Has this guy ever smoked?
Not that I've seen.
I think this would be a good chance for a roll. Let's see. This would be this would be a recall roll. So you're gonna roll 2d6 and then add your intellect modifier to it.
Okay, so mine would be just straight 2d6.
Wait, is the roll for you or for me?
For Circe.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I am going to trust... I don't know if I want to say it or not, but I am trusting it on my usual roll, and Benny, you know what type of roll I'm doing.
Yep.
Shake, 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 shake! First one's a 6. Drop. And a 5.
Ooh.
6 and a 5. That makes an 11. All right, that's a success. You successfully recall never seeing... You do not recall Eric smoking anything at all. Nor any indication that he would. Actually, specifically in Circe's case, you seem to have a little extra evidence to specifically realize that he does not smoke.
No, he didn't smoke. Wait. If he didn't smoke, then that means this probably might not be his lighter.
It must belong to the killer, then.
We found a proverbial weapon, I guess.
So we just would need to know who among us would hold a lighter.
That's still a big majority.
Yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down, now does it?
I think we can at least knock 3 people off the list.
Yeah.
And those would be...
Frederick? No.
Friedrich.
Yeah. I said the wrong name, actually. I don't know why. Grace? Antonio? And... Vance.
Okay. What led you to the conclusion that the lighter would not be theirs?
Because if you do sports, smoking anything is kind of the last thing you want to do because you want to have healthy lungs.
That is true. You need to have a healthy body to do the type of sports that he does.
And a healthy mind to be a chess master.
Mm-hmm. Grace. She didn't know what a hug was.
So based on that, you determined that she wouldn't.
Now let's not cast doubt on his theories yet.
It seems out of character for her to want to smoke.
And you said Antonio as well.
Yes.
My guess for that is it would have something to do with the Boyd. The smoke would probably affect the Boyd, probably.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you guys have investigated all that you needed to by the latrines and by the cabins. Anywhere
Wisteria.
else that you need like to check?
Wisteria would like to see if they can glean any info from the people in Boy's cabin too.
Okay.
Specifically.
That would be the only other two in that cabin would be Antonio and Lawrence.
And I can tell you right away that the moment I heard the word fire, I got out and ran to see what was going on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That would be the normal response.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, that sounds about normal.
I've got to say, I was roughly the same thing. I was fast asleep until somebody came knocking on the door and told us to get up.
Oh, Xavier.
Come to think of it, Eric wasn't there when I woke up, so...
Should have clued us in sooner, obviously.
Yeah.
It was... I can only say that in hindsight, you know? When it's actually happening right in front of you, you lose track of the details.
You always want us doing the best.
Quite. Alright, thank you for your testimonies.
Don't you mean alibis?
Sure. Well, do you all have any other ideas on what we can investigate? I think
Xavier is gonna head up to Bonnie and ask if she recognizes the lighter.
Can't say I do, Miarty. However, I can say this. I was in the mess hall with Bonnie and Demi earlier this evening before, taps hit. I think we might have noticed Eric there alone.
Well, what better place to check than that?
All right. Yes, so the dining hall is right next to the camp store and also the large dumpster that you've all been with. It's right across the way from the cabins and the other dormitories. But you guys all seem to be investigating that spot right now.
I'm gonna hate myself for this. I might hate myself for this. Xavier is gonna jump into the dumpster and see if he can find anything.
All right. So you immediately hop up onto the rim of the dumpster, and you notice two particular items that catch your eye.
Wait, you did know what you were doing?
The first is an object that you are certain wasn't there before, is a crowbar.
Does it have any blood on it?
No.
Xavier kind of just carefully picks up the crowbar. And what's the other thing?
The other thing is something that you definitely recognize. It is one of those envelopes that Monokuma gave out to everyone.
Xavier, is it open?
It has been opened, yes.
Is the actual...
Yeah, Xavier grabs it and then hops and gets onto the ground and says, "These were in the dumpster."
And
Xavier,
still something inside.
Xavier's gonna look at the name of the.
All right. So you open up the letter, and you notice that the paper is kind of crinkled, as if it's been subjected to a little bit of wear. But the writing inside is still legible, and it says, Friedrich LaRue is responsible for the hit and run that killed Alice McFarland.
What?
Oh my.
Xavier's gonna keep that he's not gonna tell the others or show Frederick's secret. Cause that sounds like a one-on-one thing, but
This is absolutely something we should keep in the back of the mind because, well,
yeah, Xavier's keeping that in the back of his head.
who knows if this?
Because remember, he's not showing anyone else this.
So Xavier's the only one reading this note right now.
All
Yes.
Okay, then.
But he is showing the crowbar. It's like, this used to be in the boathouse.
Huh? That had been used. I mean, if you want to get blood force trauma, what better than just whacking someone up the backside of the head, Gordon Freeman style?
But there's no blood on it.
Well, crowbars
That's
have many uses. This could be.
There's no blood, but there is a slight bend.
So that could mean that the wound just wasn't, like, deep enough to draw blood. You never know.
Or we found what made the he then like kind of acts like he was like he can't just kind of grabs a crowbar and acts like he's whacking something with it. What if this caused the broken handle?
Either way, we definitely found something important to the case. And,
Yeah.
you probably found something important to, something else, so just, keep it in the back of your mind for right now. Maybe it's important.
You guys keep investigating here. I have to ask someone a question.
Sure, that's fair.
So Xavier's gonna leave the
Are you going to go look for Friedrich?
Yes.
Okay, then. I think this might be a good chance. Monomi, could you take over briefly for a moment?
Okay. You find Friedrich still at the cabin, just hanging on.
They're gone. I think they're literally just doing this one-on-one. Talk about realism. Anyways, when I was going there, I was going to check inside the mess hall to see if there was a reason he was waiting there.
Okay.
Green have all the documents or something that we need.
Oh, okay. They are doing a separate conversation. All right.
I'm surprised no one's asking Circe because she was also the last person to see the body alive.
All right. Do you guys have any accounts for when the last time you saw? You know what? Yeah. I think your last interaction with Eric could be used as a truth bullet. So go ahead and reveal what you know.
Yeah, wasn't the last time I saw Eric with you? Toysy?
Sorry. Yes, I went to look for him to return his note.
Oh. That's
so you
interesting.
had his.
And you were
Yeah.
one-on-one, just like I mentioned I did not want to happen. And look who died.
Hang on!
Are you
before you jump
accusing
the
Toysy
bullet.
right now?
I'm not accusing, but my point stands. Anyone's a suspect, and especially the person who would have
He didn't.
had leverage against a person definitely could be seen as one. And we had a death involving a person.
If that would have
Again,
happened, wouldn't Eric
on.
have killed Toysy?
Okay, first off, calm your tits. Second off, he didn't have mine, but he was embarrassed by it, even though it was such a small ordeal.
And even in doubt, we gotta respect his privacy.
Well,
I
not
didn't say
accu-
what it was, now did I?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm not accusing you of anything, but I think it is something we should keep in mind.
If there's anyone to
Speaking of
accuse, it should
other
probably
things,
be whoever Xavier found. I don't know. You probably won't
speaking of
tell us. He's
things
too much
to
of an
keep
honorable
in
man.
mind, Circe, you said did you have Eric's or did Eric have yours?
I had Eric's.
You had Eric's. So we need to figure out who Eric had. I do not believe Eric was one of the people who stayed with me and wanted to share it publicly. Therefore, whoever Eric's might have had, that person could also be tied to this case.
Well, you want to know what I spotted? Xavier found
What?
another envelope in the dumpster. Did anyone else see that? My guess, that's just whoever Eric had, but no way is he gonna tell us.
Well, that's a shame that he won't tell us. Public knowledge is best knowledge, at least in my opinion. But still,
Well,
Right
he
now,
might
maybe,
keep that in
but
mind.
who even knows if it's related to the case?
Not only that, but there's always the trial.
If
Yeah.
it's really important, he'll bring it up there. Everyone will go. Everyone will be like, "Gasp!" And boom, bada bing, bada boom. We have an answer.
I sure hope he does. And if he doesn't, I'll be sure to bring it out of him.
I'm just gonna
Now-
say this right now. This man has a strict, clearly seems someone who prides himself on one thing, and that's honor. Don't
I mean,
push him.
well, of course, he's a knight. He has to honor that code.
Expect this.
All right. If you guys are finished discussing amongst yourselves, there is one person also investigating the mess hall, Charlotte.
Okay.
Well, let's go
Alright.
see what she's up to.
Hey, Charlotte.
Evening. What's up?
Did you find anything?
No luck. You?
No, but we heard from Bonnie that she saw Eric here, so we're trying to figure out, did he have a reason to be here? Was this just like a waiting spot? What was it all about?
I'm not entirely sure. What did you... And she notices the crowbar. I'm guessing that is a... Huh.
See,
Well-
Xavier found it in... You know what, I'm not even gonna say.
Smells like it's been in the garbage.
Okay.
Well done.
Not only that, but I think we found our source of the blood force trauma.
Hmm.
There's no blood on it.
I do notice there is a bend, so this was definitely used to hit either something or someone.
So it was definitely an object used as a method. Definitely an object used to just whack something. Be it a door handle or a head.
Hmm.
Yep. You're right, though. It might be used to block the door for all we know.
That door handle was pretty busted. It would take probably some kind of tool to bust it like that for a person of average strength.
I will say I did notice something while Torrance, Grace, and I were heading here to grab water from the sinks here.
Oh, whatever are you referring to?
I don't know if she was already there when we got there or she joined us afterwards, but I saw Marjan.
Larjon?
Marjan?
Marjan?
Like I said, I don't recall when exactly she got to the dining hall, but I do recall seeing her there when we were trying to put out the fire.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'll be sure to add her to the suspect list as well.
And with that, you hear that chime once again. Ding dong, bing bong.
Sounds like trial time.
Wow, this will last.
Investigation time has now concluded. Would all surviving campers please meet by the docks of the lake? Oh,
Doc?
and your appearance in this trial is mandatory, so don't think about skipping out.
I'm guessing we're not allowed to change out of our pajamas, are we?
Unfortunately, no.
Well, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Ain't that the truth? Hopefully this trial isn't as long as full murder case ones. They're a pain to deal with when I'm called as a witness on them. Or foreigner.
Well, at least you should have some experience with trials then. Not like this, obviously, but
We'll see how this one is ran.
So all 15 of you make your way back to the lake, and you see, right next to the pier, a boat. Enough to fit 16 people.
I think it's for us.
Was this
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm like, no amounts of magic I have can ever answer this.
was that boat always there?
No.
I'm sorry. I do get terribly seasick.
It's fine. So do I.
Well, I'll be. Bonnie just hops into the boat at the front. Well then, you landlubbers, get your asses in here. Ain't having any
Xavier.
nobodies in my crew.
Xavier just calmly gets on the boat.
Wisteria does the same.
What's the point? Yeah,
Look-
pretty much. Guess I gotta. Richie gets on the boat.
Reluctantly,
Not in it.
The girls also file in.
reluctantly, the other boys file in as well. And with all 15 students on board, the boat takes off into the foggy waters of the night. The boat ride over there is silent. Not because the boat's engine and the rippling of the waves is the only noise you can hear, but everybody is sort of at a loss for words. Both
You're
at-
forgetting the sounds of those who are seasick throwing up on the sides of the boat.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
but everybody is quiet for a very long time. Both of the idea that Eric has been killed and the idea that someone on here is the Blackened. Eventually, a small shape pierces the fog as the boat draws ever closer and docks on this small island in the middle of the lake. At the center of this island is a campfire, the light of which draws everybody closer to it. And around this campfire are 16 podiums forming a ring, and a throne with Monokuma sitting atop it.
And Monomi is in a cage next to it.
Hey, why is he in a cage?
Well, I only think it's only fair since I'm the rightful headmaster of this campgrounds. Now, I'm rather excited. The first trial is about to begin. Everybody, please stand by the podium with your assigned name. And as everybody does so, something does stand out, and that is the portrait of Eric Orion, with his face covered in blood-red, quote, vines crossing over his face.
Would you mind us asking why there's a...
Oh, well, everybody has to participate, you know. I'd feel bad if we left Eric out anyway. He's the victim, you know.
I guess that makes sense.
This is gonna make
Pretty-
me sick of being sick.
It's pretty creative, I'll give you that.
Don't compliment him.
Do not compliment the bear.
Look, I'm trying to make sense of this, okay?
First class trial begins. Now then, let's go over a basic explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who done it, and vote for who you think the blackened is. If you guess correctly, then only the blackened will be executed. But if you pick the wrong answer, I'll kill everybody besides the blackened. I've never really been in a court before. How does this work?
Well, in a normal court scenario, the prosecution presents their evidence, the defendant presents their evidence, one side calls witnesses, the other side calls witnesses, and that goes on until a jury decides.
But I
Well,
But
would
unfortunately-
assume that this is not a
I think
normal
we might
trial.
end up being the judge, the jury, and I'm not sure about the executioner.
Xavier
That'd
turns
that'd
over.
be him. Monomi answers, pointing to the bear.
Yeah,
That's
Xavier,
right.
I was about to say Xavier turns to Monokuma. Oh, I don't think we have to guess too hard about who's gonna kill us.
So then, who did it? Who's the one who killed Eric?
I think that's where we gotta find out.
That's the problem at hand.
Well, naturally, first need to figure out what led to this moment. Obviously, we all were woken up, but in one way or another. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I recall like a bunch of people like barging into our cabin while we were like trying to sleep. Oh yeah.
I didn't-
And I'm sorry. Yeah, and it was who was it who alerted everybody again?
Xavier was the one who ran around and just kept saying, "There's a fire," I think.
I
Daya
didn't
was the one
yell
who
there
first
was a
bloodied his
fire.
cabin.
I knocked on all the doors. I knocked on all the doors and told you there was a fire.
Xavier, I don't believe I inquired you of this, but what order did you visit the cabins in?
I went to the men's cabin first. I went to men's cabin 2 first. And then I ran over to the girls' cabin.
It would make sense since the fires were close to the second cabin.
For then, I was sleeping in my bed.
Well then, I believe this is very straightforward.
How is it straightforward?
We all know that Eric died by the fire, and therefore whoever caused the fire is the killer. And therefore, whoever owns that lighter found at the crime scene must be the killer. So if we deduce the owner of the lighter, we find the killer.
I think you're missing a couple steps there, my friend.
Lots of steps.
Oh,
Well,
then feel
even
free to point it out.
The crowbar.
Oh yeah. Didn't you find it
I
over by
mean-
the dumpster?
Well,
Yes.
Xavier's the one who actually went. Ugh. Forget it. Xavier, you say it. I can't.
I found it in the dumpster, but I do know that this he kind of has the crowbar in both hands. This was in the fuck. Hold on. Going to the truth
It was
bulge
a
real quick.
So wait, that was
It was in the
originally
boathouse.
the mess hall, right?
No, it was in the boathouse.
Ah, missed opportunity to say no, that's wrong.
Oh, damn it all.
If I recall correctly, the boathouse has a large number of gear and supplies. Anybody could have gone and gotten it.
And the person
Yeah.
who gone and got it is most likely our killer.
Anyway, that's
And
yeah.
and I suppose they dumped the crowbar in the dumpster as a way to hide the evidence. But why?
Yeah, that seems right, but
why
in that case, if they're trying to dump the evidence,
why not
we
put
found-
it back in the boathouse?
It's because of the rules. Or the reason why it was in the dumpster and not anywhere else was because
We weren't allowed back in the boathouse after hours.
Actually,
I thought it was just the bent. Man, I really should have read those rules more.
Actually, it was because of Rule 4. No littering on campgrounds.
The dumpster would be the only place that you can dispose of something properly.
And quickly.
But why
Especially
not
if it
put
was
it?
made
Why
of
not
metal.
put it? Then, if the person who retrieved the crowbar couldn't have put it back in the boathouse, then they would have to dispose of it in the dumpster. Which
Yeah,
means,
Correct.
I want to get to how even Eric got there in the first place, because I did find something.
I think the most important thing we need to do is we need to deduce a time frame for when Eric most likely arrived in the
Of
latrines.
course.
And that's where I come in.
So, to my
No,
knowledge, Circe was the last person to see Eric alive. So, it was obviously sometime between Circe's interaction with Eric and Eric's death in the boathouse. We have
Do you
that.
want me to pinpoint it more?
Go ahead.
Yes, please.
This is the note I found with near Eric's bed. Meet me by the latrines at midnight. Tell nobody. They can only trust you. So whenever happened, it happened to be happened either on or after midnight.
So that narrows our time frame down significantly.
Exactly.
Especially with the Monokuma file, especially with the file that stated that Eric's time of death was 12:34.
So if we're assuming that it happened at midnight, which we can go off that assumption for now, there was only a time span of 34 minutes in which the murderer had to have been out of the cabin and this whole ordeal could have been carried out. So I think we should start by seeing if we can pinpoint anybody who was not out at that time. Was anybody awake during that time?
Nuh-uh.
I
Not
don't
me.
think any.
Not that we know of. Not
I
that
don't
we
think
know.
anybody. I don't think anybody was awake before the fire started. You were all
How did you all
asleep.
manage to sleep in this killing game at the worst possible time?
We have already survived one day, and we didn't suspect anything else was going to happen.
We just have to try, you know?
Besides, we are human beings. We get tired. Are you saying that you stayed up all night?
Wait
I
a
wish I
minute.
had.
Well, like clearly the killer and Eric did.
Yeah.
There is something that concerns me.
What's that?
We did find that the lighter was underneath Eric, correct?
Yes.
Is it too early to rule this out as some sort of suicide?
But then why
I
the blunt force
highly
trauma?
doubt it.
I don't know
I doubt
Eric
it
well.
because
I mean,
doubt
the
it
dude was
because
calling for help. If he
how would a
if he
poison?
wanted to die, if he wanted to die, he would have died quietly, like a man.
I sincerely doubt somebody would kill.
Even just not open the door. They wouldn't have to bust it. They wouldn't have to break the handle so they're not able to open it.
Also, they wouldn't
Especially-
hit themselves in the back of the head.
The broken handle
How can
alone.
anyone hit
should
themselves
be
in the back of
enough-
the head? That's another thing.
The broken handle alone should have been enough evidence to rule out a suicide because that probably would not exist.
Then I
Yes,
rescind
it
my
was.
suggestion. I merely mean to find it strange that the lighter was inside the latrine.
And that is a good
Been
thing to
thrown
find
there.
strange, because it
If
certainly
if
is
the-
strange.
if the handle was broken to keep Eric inside, then how did the lighter get inside?
It was thrown in.
How could it have been thrown in, though?
Windows.
Yeah, the place did have windows.
Wait.
It
were
reeked
windows
of gasoline. You wouldn't
included?
really.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, the killer hit Eric over the head, put him inside the latrine, closed the door, smashed the handle, poured the gasoline inside, and threw the lighter in?
That seems to be
What
what
if-
happened.
What if the place already had gasoline in there?
How is that
Or-
possible?
Why?
We were in. It was the middle of the night. The note says, "Meet me by the latrines at midnight. Tell nobody. Only I can trust you."
So then someone was planning to lure Eric outside and then kill him.
Seems like it. They could have set up These could have set up the men's latrines. Plus, there was a canister of gasoline already in there.
So they used the latrines as an execution chamber.
Oh, that's bad.
So,
Well-
does that mean the killer has to be a guy?
Why would they need to be a guy?
What are you not telling us, Xavier?
I found more than the crowbar in the dumpster.
Interesting. Do tell.
I found
Yes,
Now
do
it's-
tell. Please explain why this is relevant to the case.
Xavier points to Frederick and says, "I found his secret."
Pray tell, what is his secret?
I'll let him tell it.
Well, Frederick, we're waiting.
Fine, I suppose it's worth saying, but I will warn you now that it has nothing to do with this case. Anyway,
Oh,
it reads that I am responsible for the hit and run that killed Alice McFarland.
Ooh. Wait,
Who
who
is
is she?
Alice
Do you know her?
McFarland?
Precisely my point. Nobody here is Alice McFarland, therefore we do not need to solve the mystery behind her murder.
That's not what I'm wondering. I'm wondering why your secret was
Is in the
in the
dumpster.
dumpster.
the same dumpster that the crowbar was found in.
Frederick,
I-
did you even get your secret?
I did not get my secret, in fact. In fact, if you really want proof, then I received Dyer's secret. But that's neither here nor there. I cannot tell you why my secret was in the garbage, because I did not receive it in the first place.
What if Eric had it?
And
We
Monokuma,
don't.
Are you allowed to reveal who Eric had?
Now, this is a tricky question. On one hand, you've already done a pretty good job of figuring out who has whose secrets. But on the other hand, this was meant to stir up a bit of trouble, so to speak.
Well, then let us pursue both avenues of thought. Assuming that Eric did in fact have Friedrich's secret, then why was it not on his person? Eric couldn't have had Friedrich's secret with him, because then it would have burned up in the fire. somebody else had to have put it in the garbage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
For all we
due
know.
to the and due to the
For all
blunt
we know,
force
they
trauma on
could've
the
just
back
been
of his
hoping.
head.
Wait, what was that? What was that, Richie?
It could have been a plant job. Like, whenever Eric got knocked out, it was like, ooh, somebody's secret. If I throw it away with the crowbar, maybe they'll suspect them, and they didn't even know if it's Frederick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to normally go off of my reading of other people, but Frederick doesn't seem like the kind of person to discard a secret like that out in the public dumpster.
I agree.
Yeah, he does not seem like the person to be. Frederick
would
seems
have-
like the person to, well, you know.
You
Fine.
must think. You must think if you had a few moves ahead. Had I come into contact with my own secrets, I would have destroyed it right then and there.
So
Therefore, I was not in possession of it at any time. Not until Xavier came forward about it.
So I guess that means we can rule him out.
Indeed.
Wait, what if Eric knew this Alice person?
That is a
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, the names, like, kinda sound similar-ish. Like, Farland, Orion, they're both Irish, aren't they?
That is the weakest logic I have ever heard. Who's to say that this Alice McFarland is not somebody else that another person here knows and is keeping under wraps?
Then why would Eric be dead?
Why, indeed. As I said, this secret has no relation to the case.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the cheerleader might be onto something. What do you guys think?
Exactly.
Charlotte asks, turning to the full review.
Does seem strange that secret specifically mentions a murder of a person. And given how much of a coincidence this place has, or should I say this school, it would make sense if someone knew someone.
What if Eric tried to kill the person, but the girl killed instead?
Additionally, we have no way of proving that Eric had any sort of... Actually, that's wrong.
How so?
I believe that Eric intended to set this up for Friedrich.
Oh,
How can you tell?
Do tell, Daya.
As long as the crowbar and the note were both found in the dumpster, we have to assume that they were disposed of together. And
But why not?
My hypothesis is that the killer took the note along with the crowbar when they subdued Eric. And given the nature of this note and the method of which the execution, perhaps Eric received Friedrich's secrets.
Well, has anyone else here received Friedrich's secrets? We can figure that out right here.
Nope.
No.
Like I said, I only had Eric's secret, and I returned it and never told anyone what it was.
Well, no one here seems to have had Friedrich's secret, so I think we can assume Eric had his secret.
That is correct. And since this note is in fact evidence, it could have very well been Friedrich that this trap was meant for.
Someone found out about it.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps
Wasn't
say,
there a note
what about
in
that?
Eric's cabin?
I was just going to say,
What?
that note didn't have any names on it, right? We just assumed that Eric was meant to be the recipient, but...
What if he was supposed to be the one who delivered it?
Eric was the one staying in that cabin that it was found in, so it isn't out
The
of
people in the
question.
cabin with me are Lawrence, Antonio, and, well, me. And, well, Eric.
If it was found in that cabin, then there is definitely a possibility that it could have been Eric's note.
There's at least a 25% chance. And
However, that brings the question, if Eric did plan this, then that significantly narrows the suspect pool of people who could have actually feasibly found out about this plan. It would have had to have been somebody who would have either witnessed Eric setting it up, or knew of Eric's, or saw Eric writing a note, or something along those lines.
We found this in a notebook, correct?
Yes, it is. It is in a notebook, but it hasn't been torn from the page yet.
Xavier's gonna kind of flip to we went to the first page, or the behind the front cover. Would we find owner?
Friedrich was definitely inside the cabin since sundown, and he was asleep. And he was asleep up until the point where I woke him.
Yes.
If cabin 1 confirm each other, then I suppose, unless new evidence arises, we can clear those 4 from the suspect pool.
Wait a minute.
And I'll see, Chisto.
Wait. Charlotte Orange, did we not see someone by the mess hall while we were trying to put out the fire?
You're right.
Yeah, I did say, we don't know when this person showed up, but they were definitely with us trying to put the fire out.
Bonnie, you said you were with Marjan and Demi, but you saw Eric, who was alone, right?
That is correct.
Did anything seem off?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hold on.
I definitely recall going back to make happen with Demi and Wisteria and Marjan.
I can back that statement. Us 4 went back at around the same time.
Are you certain that all of you stayed in the cabin?
I can confirm that I was there shortly before midnight.
I slept near immediately after my arrival, as I have not slept since we arrived here.
Okay, when this trial is over, please get some sleep.
Yeah, I can confirm this there was out like a light at the taps.
God damn it.
So, who'd you girls see? Well, guys?
Marjan. How did Charlotte, Torrance, and Grace already find you by the mess hall?
Because I was awake. Because I had woken up when everyone else did, and I happened to go to the mess hall to help everyone put out the fire.
But that's
Oddly convenient.
That's wrong.
Wait a moment. So, you
Rule
heard
9. Some areas, such as the mess hall and the boathouse, are off limits after your curfew is in effect. Why would you be in the mess hall?
Well, obviously, were there to get water for the fire. I saw Charlotte, Torrance, and Grace. We were all there together.
But everybody was either getting water from the lake or the showers. You couldn't have gotten any from the mess hall.
If specifically off limits. Monokuma. I need
Yes?
a question answered.
What is it?
What would happen to us if we went into the mess hall at around 12:30?
Well, past curfew, all the mess hall and the boathouse would be locked, so you couldn't enter them anyway. But if you somehow managed to get in, an alarm would start blaring all throughout the campgrounds.
Anybody else remember hearing an alarm?
Not that I recall.
Nope.
But I should also say that entering the mess hall is against the rules, but visiting places adjacent to it is perfectly fine.
I got it! The camp store!
Huh?
Is the store under curfew? Because it's right adjacent to the mess hall.
Or should we be disposing some stuff? Remember what else is by the mess hall?
The dumpster in which the evidence was found.
So, Marjan, what were you doing over by the mess hall then? I told you I was trying to get water to help you guys put out the fire.
But you couldn't have.
There's no lakes, rivers, streams, wells, or any other source of water over that direction past 11 o'clock.
Checkmate.
Wait, what happened? I went to the bathroom. I missed everything. What happened?
We might have found the killer?
I think we might have found somebody.
Are you suggesting that I have done it? I couldn't have.
And why exactly
We're not saying that you've done it conclusively, but you are definitely a suspect.
Then tell us one thing.
It's alright. What is it?
What's your account?
I can confirm that I was with Bonnie before taps, and we had all noticed that right before heading back to our cabins. And I had stayed there. And I stayed there until we were awoken by Xavier. I'm sorry, I am out of character coughing.
Well, I told everyone here I was the first to fall asleep. Demi, Bonnie, you were awake. Who was the last one to fall asleep among you three?
I know that I took the bed shortly after you did. I stayed up quite a bit and fell asleep around midnight. Marjan was the last of us to. Marjan was still awake.
So she was the last to fall asleep.
So none of us three can definitively confirm her alibi.
Yes, I can confirm that everyone else in my cabin was asleep before me. A quarter past midnight. Until, of course, we were awoken again.
A quarter past midnight. That still leaves.
That's 19 minutes.
15 or so minutes for something to happen.
I did mention all of us noticed Eric alone right before curfew hit.
Then you would definitely know what he might have been planning. You would have a reason to be out past curfew, would you not?
I do not know, maybe.
Wait a minute. Marja. Does
I do not know who you are talking about. I have not heard her name before until the trial.
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure.
That's first, the killer would have to know that Eric would be alone at midnight. And second, the killer would have to be alone for a while as they killed and disposed of evidence. I can think of no other than Marjan Kian.
I am telling you, it is not me.
Do you have proof?
Of course, I have 3 witnesses. They were with me the entire night. Sure,
They were with you?
Before I did, but they were with me the entire night.
Can I make a coax roll?
Actually, let's see.
Try and get Mijan to get more information from Mijan about Alice. Marjan, sorry.
Sure, you can try to coax something out of her.
Altogether, that is an 11.
Okay, that sounds like a partial success. So what do you say to warrant a partial success?
Actually, no, that's a success.
Oh.
When I asked you the question, you were stumbling over your words. It's almost like it's a painful memory. Could Alice have been someone close to you?
Wait a second. Wistera, didn't you talk to Marjan?
I did talk to Marjan, yes.
Exactly.
Also met with her later and gave her a gift. But that was just an act of me receiving my own secret and then quickly disposing of it. I did not have anything to do with her secret, nor do I know who is in possession of the secret.
No. What did you two talk about with the gift?
Oh, with the gift. What did we talk about? Well,
It was Eric who knew this Alice person.
It would certainly give him a motive to kill, but... Contagious position.
I'm just gonna say this again.
Wait.
Goyle friend.
Wait, how...
A second.
Not a second.
When?
Spill the tea.
There is no tea to spill. I have heard from Eric that he had known this Alice person. At what time?
I'm sorry.
If he really did, sorry, you go.
But why Goyle friend? In fact, why didn't you say that earlier?
Yeah, earlier we were discussing about the possibility of a connection between Eric and Alice,
Because you should have
and
mentioned it earlier.
you didn't mention anything.
You don't need to tell me.
We needed answers sooner rather than later.
Oh. Okay, I might have seen. No, I.
When did we reach an episode of a telenovela?
I think we've been in one the whole time.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know any Spanish.
Wait, Marjan is Iranian and French. Not Spanish. Grace is the one who's Spanish.
Was making a joke.
Already, Grace.
I was making a joke, guys. Calm your tits.
It's alright. But
I believe we're
Marjan
done
is
here.
hyperventilating.
I
We
believe
might
we're
not
done
be
here.
entirely done.
We still have some unanswered questions. I'd rather voting, even if
Sorry. Before we get to the voting, though,
God damn it.
why don't the four of you try to piece together what had happened and how it happened and who done it? Time to make your closing argument.
Well, we know that after Monokuma gave the motives, everyone either refused to say what their secret was, or they said what their secret was.
we also know that the group of people split, some opting to share it publicly in the vicinity of others, and others opting to share it one-on-one with people.
Some choosing not to.
That as well.
I just had to take care of a call real quick. What did I
That's
miss?
It's okay, dude.
We're doing the closing arguments.
Right.
Eric opening his envelope saw he had Friedrich's message. However, instead of giving it back to him, he started thinking of a way to kill him.
Which leads us to the whole elaborate setup of the latrine area. And the reason why the lighter was on him, and the reason he must have been the one to grab the crowbar out of the boathouse, and that, along with the note, with the secret that he had, brought that to the boathouse as he set up the crime.
And this might have also meant that the lighter could have been his. Either that or he acquired it for use to set it on fire. And his own weapon was used against him. Either way, his own weapon was used against him.
After hearing about, either hearing or learning about what Eric's planning on doing,
It'd be safe to say that Marjan saw an opportunity.
Yeah.
My guess is Marjan overheard something. Who knows what?
Mm-hmm.
But something while Eric was alone. Because, who knows, maybe he was mumbling himself, maybe he was planning to himself.
She saw an
Be sure at
opportunity.
this point, but you're right.
Yep.
Whatever happened, she saw an opportunity to act herself.
Yep.
She must have thought that Eric had her secret.
Potentially.
Wait, no.
But
no,
either case.
She said it out loud in public, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And then after using that information that she acquired, she decided to hop on to Eric's murder plan, eventually being the one to use it against him.
We don't know what she used to knock him unconscious, but we know it's not the crowbar. She could have picked up some sort of... not some sort of branch and swung it.
Most likely it would have been a branch or rock, since I believe that those probably could be discarded back into the wilderness and not constitute littering.
True. Or she could have thrown it into the fire.
That as well, if it was something flammable. When nighttime approached, myself, Demi, and Bonnie were asleep, and sometime during that time frame, she left the cabin and then carried out the plan, setting the latrines ablaze.
And Eric awoke from whatever knocked him out, saw the situation, and screamed. That woke Daya up. Daya woke Xavier and the rest of his cabin up.
And
Xavier woke the rest of us up.
Yep.
And we all scrambled like hell to get some water to put that fire out. And in that time, Marjan must have seen another opening. A little time to go off to the dumpster near the mess hall and properly dispose of a tool she used to bang close the door. Either she or Eric used to bang close the door, so whoever got locked in couldn't get out. And the secret found.
Unfortunately, she didn't think of Charlotte, Florence, and Grace were in past.
That, and she also might have thought that Xavier would be willing to just somehow get up there, look into the dumpster, and risk his sanitation. You stinky dude.
But I would say,
if not done it, and we'd be stuck for an hour.
Because of the witness testimony of Charlotte and those with her, as well as the exploration of the dumpster, those two things provide indisputable evidence that the only person who could have cleaned up after the crime and therefore carried out the crime is none other than Marjan,
the ultimate ballerina.
The ultimate ballerina. Marjan Kian, ultimate ballerina.
You have to say for yourself.
It was an accident. I had no idea he set the latrines on fire. I had no idea he put the I had no idea he already put the gas down. I didn't know.
Now then, let's proceed to the voting time. Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Cast your votes.
And so, little levers come to your side as you select who you think the blackened is, and it is unanimously Marjan Kian.
Break rule 1!
Silently sobbing.
You even voted for yourself.
Break rule 1.
So, it's true then.
Really?
It was an accident. I didn't know how far he had gone. I thought if I just knocked him out, I didn't expect him to die.
You saw the fire. You could have got him out. You could. He was screaming. You could have got him out, but instead the door. You could have got him out if the door wasn't battered. And then yeah. And then maybe, I don't know, you could have just said, "Oh, Eric planned to do this." Everyone would have been like, and he probably wouldn't have done it.
He would have still been here.
Well,
And
Marjan,
because of this.
Anyway.
Marjan, can you tell us what happened? We want to hear it from you.
I had spotted him at stepping out of the latrines with the canister of gas. I did not know that it was already empty. I go to confront him, and he tells me that he asks me to leave, but of course I couldn't. He had piqued my suspicion too much, and then after he confessed some more, he finally revealed whose secret he had. He had told me who Alice was, how much he loved her, and how much anger he had towards Eric. I couldn't let him kill him. So I knocked him out, and then as I was leaving, the latrines took fire. I panicked. I used the crowbar. After using the crowbar to knock him out, I used it to destroy the door, and I tried to dispose of them at the dumpster.
I believe it. John, you understand what you just did when you broke that door?
I do.
That isn't an accident. Who knows what would have happened if you... Sure, probably would have still knocked out Eric, but he'd be alive. He'd be probably woozy, but he'd be alive.
She has nothing else to say.
But instead, you did the worst person anyone can do. You jumped to conclusions.
Oh my god.
But to think, Eric was going to plan this von Friedrich. He was...
Yeah, Friedrich, you dodged like a million bullets.
I would have to thank Marjan. If not for her, I would be the one. Yeah, I would be the one whose murder you're solving. And it would be Eric who would die in the end anyway.
Man, you're a joke.
She's just silent. She can't say anything else.
I think it's best if we just take the rest of the secrets to the grave.
Agreed.
Because we already saw what happened here.
Well, you'll have to party afterwards, because now prepared a very special punishment for Marjan.
I don't know. Rusty Cage's new song.
I was about.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
But is she saying the French, or is she begging?
Or is she
for
And latches around Marjan's
her strings as she falls through the water, getting tangled in now weighing her down as she sinks to the bottom and as she drowns.
God.
Oh my god.
So, friends,
All survived the first class trial.
that's the easy one.
Ugh,
Well, it gets harder from here.
there's nowhere to go but up in terms of difficulty.
God, I wish that was
Also,
lie.
as a way of leveling up, all the players get +1 to any skill.
And there's probably
You said it was-
some specific
What?
How much gold, silver, and copper was it again?
1 gold, 5 silver, 10 copper.
Okay, thank you.
To do something.
rose seeds that were apparently really rare.
Yes, that's right. You did give them to him.
But I didn't know what he was planning to do, what Marchand did. I'm still gonna plant them, but this time it's gonna be so we all survive. It's gonna be for all of us.
That new headscarf that I gave Marjan.
Already back.
Didn't get much use out of it.
Eric's Memorial Garden. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Yeah.